The summons. The message came on an ordinary Tuesday, its arrival heralded by nothing more dramatic than a slight buzz from Captain Ilara Chen's comm unit. She was in the middle of a routine inspection of the UES Horizon, Earth's most advanced deep space vessel, when the innocuous ping stopped her in her tracks. "What is it, ARIA?" she asked, addressing the ship's eye. "Captain, we've received a priority transmission from Earth Central Command. It's unusual." Ilara frowned. ARIA wasn't programmed for understatement. Define unusual. A holographic display flickered to life before her, showcasing a swirling galaxy map. At its center, a pulsing red dot demanded attention. "The message originates from here," ARIA explained. "The Galactic Core. More specifically, from an entity identifying itself as the Galactic Council." Ilara's breath caught in her throat. The Galactic Council was a myth, a bedtime story told to wide-eyed children dreaming of the stars. It couldn't be real. "Verify the source," she ordered, her voice steady despite the surge of adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Already done, Captain. The encryption and quantum signatures are unlike anything in our database, but they're undeniably authentic. This is no hoax." Ilara closed her eyes, taking a moment to process the implications. Humanity had been exploring the stars for barely a century, establishing colonies on a handful of nearby systems. They'd encountered no signs of intelligent life, let alone a governing body for the entire galaxy. "What does the message say?" she finally asked. Aria's voice took on a formal tone. "To the species known as humanity, your presence is required before the Galactic Council. You will present yourselves at the coordinates provided within one standard galactic cycle. Failure to comply will result in severe consequences for your species." The silence that followed was deafening. Ilara's mind raced, considering the enormity of what she'd just heard. A summons from an unknown, vastly powerful alien authority. The fate of humanity potentially hanging in the balance. "ARIA, send an encrypted burst to Earth Central. Priority Alpha. We need to convene an emergency meeting of the United Earth Council." As ARIA acknowledged the order, Ilara strode towards the bridge, her earlier inspection forgotten. She had a feeling the UES Horizon was about to embark on the most important mission in human history. 12 hours later, Ilara found herself in a secure underground chamber beneath Geneva, surrounded by the most powerful individuals on Earth. The air was thick with tension as holographic displays showcased the mysterious message and all the data they'd managed to gather about its origin. "This has to be a joke," General Zhou declared, his weathered face creased with skepticism. "Some upstart alien race trying to intimidate us." Dr. Amelia Okafor, Earth's leading xenobiologist, shook her head. "The technology required to send this message, let alone enforce such a summons, is far beyond anything we've encountered. This is real, and we need to take it seriously." President Amelia Santiago leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "Captain Chen, you received the initial transmission. What's your assessment?" Ilara took a deep breath. "Madam President, distinguished colleagues, I believe we're facing a pivotal moment in human history. Whether this Galactic Council is benevolent or hostile, their very existence changes everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We have two choices. We can ignore the summons and risk the severe consequences mentioned, or we can face this challenge head-on. I recommend we comply with the request and send a delegation. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity is made of." A murmur of discussion rippled through the room. President Santiago raised a hand, silencing the chatter. "I agree with Captain Chen. We'll send a delegation, but we'll do so prepared for any eventuality. Captain, I want you to lead this mission. Choose your team carefully. They may well be representing our entire species." Ilara nodded, the weight of responsibility settling on her shoulders. "Thank you, Madam President. I won't let you down." As the meeting adjourned, Ilara's mind was already racing, compiling a list of potential crew members. She'd need the best and brightest humanity had to offer, scientists, diplomats, and soldiers alike. Over the next week, Earth became a hive of activity. The UES Horizon underwent a series of rapid upgrades, its systems pushed to the limit to prepare for the long journey to the galactic core. Ilara's chosen team, a diverse group of experts from various fields, underwent intensive training, preparing for every conceivable scenario they might face. Dr. Zara Patel, a brilliant physicist with a knack for unraveling the mysteries of the universe, joined as the science officer. Commander Marcus Jones, a seasoned diplomat with nerves of steel, would serve as the team's negotiator. Lieutenant Akira Tanaka, an expert in xenotechnology, rounded out the core group. As the day of departure approached, a palpable sense of anticipation gripped the planet. Humanity had faced countless challenges in its history: plagues, wars, environmental disasters. But nothing quite like this. The entire species held its breath, aware that their future hung in the balance. On the morning of the launch, Ilara stood before her assembled crew on the bridge of the UES Horizon. Beyond the view screen, Earth gleamed like a blue jewel against the velvet backdrop of space. Men and women of the horizon, Ilara began, her voice carrying to every corner of the ship. We stand at the threshold of a new era. Behind us lies everything we've ever known. Our homes, our families, our entire history as a species. Ahead lies the unknown, filled with wonders and dangers we can scarcely imagine. She paused, meeting the eyes of each crew member in turn. We carry with us the hopes and dreams of every human being. Whatever awaits us at the galactic core, we will face it with courage, intelligence, and the unbreakable spirit that has carried our species from the savannas of Africa to the stars themselves. A chorus of cheers erupted from the crew. Ilara allowed herself a small smile before turning to her command chair. Navigation: set course for the provided coordinates. Engineering: prepare for hyperspace jump. As the UES Horizon's engines hummed to life, Ilara felt a mix of trepidation and exhilaration. They were about to leap into the unknown, carrying the fate of humanity with them. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she was determined to meet them head-on. Engage, she commanded. In a burst of light, the UES Horizon vanished from Earth's orbit, streaking towards the heart of the galaxy and humanity's date with destiny. The accusation. The journey to the galactic core took weeks, even with the UES Horizon's advanced propulsion systems. As they traveled, Captain Ilara Chen and her crew used every moment to prepare, poring over historical records and scientific data, running simulations, and refining their diplomatic strategies. Dr. Zora Patel spent hours in the ship's observatory, marveling at the dense star fields they passed. It's incredible, she mused one day, as Ilara joined her. We're seeing parts of the galaxy no human has ever laid eyes on before. Ilara nodded, her expression thoughtful. Beautiful, yes, but potentially deadly. We have no idea what kind of reception awaits us. As if on cue, the ship's AI, Araya, chimed in. Captain, we're approaching the designated coordinates. Sensors are detecting something unusual. Ilara and Zara rushed to the bridge, joining the rest of the senior crew. On the main view screen, a structure unlike anything they'd ever seen slowly came into view. It was a massive space station, if such a mundane term could even apply. The construct seemed to defy the laws of physics, its crystalline spires and sweeping arches forming impossible geometries. Surrounding it was a swarm of ships of various designs, a testament to the diversity of life in the galaxy. My God, whispered Commander Marcus Jones, the diplomat. It's like something out of a dream. Lieutenant Akira Tanaka, at the helm, turned to Ilara. Captain, we're receiving a transmission. They're guiding us in. Ilara straightened her uniform, taking a deep breath. This is it, people. Remember your training and remember what we represent. The future of humanity rests on what happens here. As the Horizon docked with the station, Ilara led her team to the airlock. With a hiss of equalizing pressure, the doors slid open, revealing a cavernous docking bay teeming with alien life. Creatures of all shapes and sizes moved about, some recognizably bipedal, others defying easy categorization. A tall, willowy being with iridescent skin approached them. When it spoke, the words seemed to form directly in their minds. "Welcome, humans, to the seat of the Galactic Council. I am Zixtal, your liaison. Please follow me." As they walked through the station's winding corridors, Ilara and her team struggled to take in the sheer alienness of their surroundings. The architecture seemed alive, shifting subtly as they passed. Other beings regarded them with a mix of curiosity and wariness. Finally, they arrived at a vast chamber. Tiered seating rose in a circle around a central platform, each section occupied by representatives of different species. At the highest tier sat 5 beings of distinct appearance, their very presence radiating authority. Zixtal gestured for the humans to take their place on the central platform. "The council will now convene," the alien announced, its mental voice echoing through the chamber. The central figure of the 5 counselors, a being with multiple limbs and eyes that glowed like distant stars, spoke first. "We are the Galactic Council, guardians of order and progress in this galaxy for eons. You, humanity, have been summoned to answer for your actions." Ilara stepped forward, her voice steady. "Honored Council, I am Captain Ilara Chen of Earth. We come in peace and with respect. May we know the nature of the accusations against us." The counselor's eyes flashed. "Your species has expanded rapidly and recklessly. You have colonized worlds without regard for established galactic protocols. Your technological advancement outpaces your wisdom. In short, you threaten the delicate balance we have maintained for millennia." Images appeared in the air around them, showcasing humanity's rapid progress over the past century. The first lunar bases, the terraforming of Mars, the establishment of colonies in nearby star systems. Another counselor, a being that seemed to be made of living crystal, chimed in. "You have achieved in decades what takes most species centuries. This rate of expansion is unprecedented and dangerous." Commander Jones stepped forward. "With all due respect, we were unaware of any galactic protocols. We have encountered no other intelligent life in our explorations. How were we to know?" A ripple of murmurs passed through the assembled aliens. The central counselor raised a limb for silence. "Ignorance is no excuse. Your actions have disrupted carefully laid plans and threatened to destabilize entire sectors." Dr. Patel, unable to contain herself, spoke up. "But surely rapid progress is a good thing. We've solved problems that plagued our species for millennia. We've cured diseases, extended our lifespans, and found ways to live in harmony with our environments." The crystalline counselor's voice took on a sharp edge. "And in doing so, you've bypassed crucial stages of development. You wield technologies you barely understand, colonize worlds you're not ready for. Your kind is like a child playing with fire in a room full of explosives." Ilara felt a chill run down her spine. The accusations were grave, and the council's tone left little room for argument. But as she looked at her team, she saw not defeat, but determination. They had come too far to back down now. "Honored Council," Ilara said, her voice ringing clear through the chamber, "we acknowledge that our progress has been rapid. But I ask you to consider why. Our history is one of constant struggle and adaptation. We've faced extinction-level events, wars that nearly wiped us out, and environmental catastrophes that pushed us to the brink. Each time, we've emerged stronger, more resilient." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We expanded into space not out of a desire for conquest, but out of necessity. Our world was dying, and we had to find a way to survive. Every breakthrough, every innovation, was born from that drive to endure, to ensure our species had a future." Images flickered around them again, this time showing Earth's troubled past. The world wars, the climate crisis, the near misses with asteroids. But alongside these, images of human triumph, the first steps on the moon, the eradication of deadly diseases, the greening of deserts. We don't claim to be perfect, Ilara continued. We've made mistakes, and we have much to learn. But we're willing to learn. We're willing to work with the Council to understand these protocols we were unaware of. All we ask is for the chance to prove ourselves, to show that our rapid progress can be a force for good in this galaxy. The Council members exchanged glances, a silent communication passing between them. Finally, the central figure spoke again. Your words are passionate, Captain Chen. But words alone are not enough. If humanity wishes to avoid sanctions, or worse, you will need to prove your worth to this Council. Ilara straightened, her chin lifting. Tell us what we need to do. The crystalline counselor leaned forward. We have prepared a series of trials. Tests of your species' wisdom, adaptability, and ethics. If you pass, you will be granted provisional status in the galactic community. If you fail, the unspoken threat hung in the air. Ilara looked at her team, seeing the same mix of determination and apprehension she felt reflected in their eyes. Whatever these trials were, they would face them together, carrying the hopes of all humanity on their shoulders. We accept your challenge, Ilara declared, her voice unwavering. Humanity stands ready to prove its worth to the galaxy. As a murmur of surprise rippled through the chamber, Ilara couldn't help but feel a spark of hope. They had come here expecting judgment, but instead had been given an opportunity. It was a slim chance, but it was all they needed. After all, overcoming impossible odds was what humans did best. The trials. The air in the chamber crackled with tension as the Galactic Council prepared to announce the trials. Captain Ilara Chen stood tall, her team flanking her, each of them acutely aware of the weight of responsibility on their shoulders. The Central Counselor, whom they now knew as High Arbiter Zinthor, raised all four of his upper limbs for silence. Humans, his resonant voice echoed. You will face 3 trials, each designed to test a crucial aspect of your species' readiness for galactic citizenship. Dr. Zarapotil leaned in, whispering to Ilara. Whatever they throw at us, Captain, we got this. Humanity's best and brightest, remember. Ilara nodded, a small smile tugging at her lips despite the gravity of the situation. Zinthor continued. The first trial will test your wisdom and ethical judgment. The second, your adaptability and problem-solving skills. The third and final trial will examine your species' capacity for cooperation and peaceful coexistence. The crystalline counselor, Xylith, chimed in, her voice like chimes in a breeze. You will have 1 planetary rotation to prepare. Choose your champions wisely, for the fate of your species hangs in the balance. As the council adjourned, Ilara and her team were escorted to quarters within the massive space station. The rooms were clearly designed with a variety of species in mind, adjusting to their physiology as they entered. Commander Marcus Jones paced the common area, his diplomatic training kicking into high gear. We need to strategize. These trials could be anything. Philosophical conundrums, advanced scientific challenges, tests of physical prowess. Lieutenant Akira Tanaka nodded, already pulling up holographic displays of the team's collective knowledge banks. I suggest we review everything we know about galactic history, xenobiology, and advanced physics. We can't afford to be caught off guard. As the team prepared through the night, Ilara found herself drawn to the viewport in her quarters. The galactic core blazed before her, a swirling maelstrom of stars and cosmic energy. The sight filled her with a mix of awe and determination. They couldn't fail, not with so much at stake. The next morning, or what passed for morning on the station, found the human team assembled once more before the council. Zinthor's many eyes focused on them with an unreadable expression. Humans, are you prepared to face the first trial? Ilara stepped forward. We are, High Arbiter. A shimmering portal appeared in the center of the chamber. Zinthor gestured towards it. Captain Chen, you alone will enter. This trial is one of wisdom and judgment. The fate of millions will rest on your decisions. Taking a deep breath, Ilara stepped through the portal. She found herself in what appeared to be a control room of sorts, screens surrounding her on all sides. Each displayed a different planetary system, teeming with life. The disembodied voice of Zinthor filled the room. Before you are 100 worlds, each facing a critical moment in their development. Some are on the brink of environmental collapse, others teeter on the edge of devastating wars. You have the power to intervene in 10 of these worlds. Choose wisely, for your interventions will have far-reaching consequences. Ilara's mind raced. This wasn't just a test of ethics. It was a test of foresight, of understanding the delicate balance of societal development. She thought of Earth's history, of the pivotal moments that had shaped her own species. For hours, she studied the worlds before her, weighing each decision carefully. A planet choking on pollution, intervention could save millions of lives, but would it rob the species of the harsh lesson that led to Earth's environmental renaissance? A world on the brink of a war that would decimate its population. Stopping it could save lives, but would it prevent the technological advancements that often arose from conflict? In the end, Ilara made her choices. She intervened where she believed the species involved had the most to lose and the most potential to gain. As she confirmed her final decision, the room dissolved around her, and she found herself back in the council chamber. Zinthor's eyes gleamed. Interesting choices, Captain. Not perfect, but thoughtful. You have passed the first trial. A collective sigh of relief went through the human team, but they knew 2 more challenges awaited. The second trial began immediately. This time, the entire team was transported to what appeared to be a massive alien laboratory. Strange devices and swirling energy fields surrounded them. Xylith's voice rang out. Your world faces imminent destruction from a gamma-ray burst. You have 6 hours to devise a way to shield your planet using only the tools and knowledge in this laboratory. Begin. The team sprang into action. Dr. Patel dove into the theoretical physics, her mind racing through calculations. Tanaka began examining the alien technology, his expertise in xenotech proving invaluable. Jones and Ilara coordinated the effort, bringing together ideas and managing the limited time. As the hours ticked by, frustration mounted. The solution seemed just out of reach, the alien concepts maddeningly complex. But then, in a moment of inspired collaboration, they cracked it. Combining Earth's theoretical knowledge with the advanced alien tech, they devised a planetary shield that could withstand the gamma-ray burst. With seconds to spare, they presented their solution. The council members examined it, their alien features impossible to read. Finally, Idol spoke. Unconventional, but effective. You have passed the second trial. Exhausted but elated, the team braced themselves for the final challenge. This time, they found themselves in a vast arena, surrounded by representatives from a dozen different alien species. Zinthor's voice boomed overhead. Your final trial is one of cooperation. Before you is a puzzle that can only be solved by working together with these other species. But beware, not all of them are inclined to cooperate. You have 3 hours to complete the puzzle, or all will face elimination. The puzzle was a massive, multidimensional construct, parts of it seemingly phasing in and out of reality. It quickly became clear that each species had unique abilities needed to manipulate different aspects of the puzzle. Ilara took charge, her leadership skills shining as she coordinated not just her team, but the alien species as well. Jones' diplomatic skills proved crucial in mediating disputes and encouraging cooperation. Patel and Tanaka worked tirelessly, combining their scientific knowledge with the unique insights of their alien counterparts. It wasn't easy. Some species were naturally distrustful, others had conflicting methods of communication. But slowly, surely, they began to make progress. As the final minutes ticked away, a spirit of true cooperation took hold. Species that had been at odds found common ground, working together with a synchronicity that amazed even the council members watching from above. With a final collective effort, the puzzle clicked into place. The arena erupted in a cacophony of alien cheers and expressions of triumph. As the human team was returned to the council chamber, they were met with a sight they hadn't expected. The council members were standing, their postures conveying what could only be described as respect. Zenfor spoke, his voice carrying a new tone. "Humans, you have surprised us. You've shown wisdom in your judgment, ingenuity in your problem-solving, and perhaps most importantly, an remarkable ability to unite diverse beings towards a common goal." Shylif added, "Your species is young, yes, and your progress has been alarmingly fast. But we see now that this speed is matched by an adaptability and resilience that is rare in the galaxy." The Central Counselor raised all his limbs. "By the power vested in us by the Galactic Charter, we hereby grant humanity provisional status in the galactic community. You will be assigned mentors to guide your further development, but you have earned the right to continue your exploration of the stars." Ilara felt a wave of emotion wash over her, relief, pride, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. "Thank you, honored council," she said, her voice thick with emotion. "We promise to use this opportunity wisely, to learn, to grow, and to contribute positively to the galactic community." As the human team embraced, celebrating their victory, Ilara's gaze was drawn back to the viewport and the star-filled expanse beyond. They had faced judgment and emerged victorious. Now, the real challenge began, proving to the galaxy and to themselves that humanity truly deserved its place among the stars. The journey home would be long, but it would be filled with the excitement of new possibilities, new alliances, and the knowledge that they had just opened a new chapter in human history. As the UES Horizon prepared for departure, Ilara knew that the real adventure was only just beginning. The aftermath. The journey back to Earth seemed both longer and shorter than the trip to the galactic core. Longer, because the crew of the UES Horizon was bursting with news and discoveries they couldn't wait to share. Shorter, because they now traveled with an escort of alien ships, their new allies using technology that made the Horizon's advanced engines seem primitive by comparison. Captain Ilara Chen stood on the bridge, watching the streaks of light that indicated their faster-than-light travel. Commander Marcus Jones approached, his face a mix of excitement and concern. "Captain," he said, "I've been thinking about how we're going to explain all of this to Earth. The existence of the Galactic Council, our provisional status, the mentors we're bringing back with us. It's going to change everything." Ilara nodded, her expression thoughtful. "You're right, Marcus. We're not just returning as explorers. We're coming back as harbingers of a new era for humanity." As they neared the solar system, Ilara gathered her senior staff for a final briefing. Dr. Zora Patil and Lieutenant Akira Tanaka joined her and Commander Jones in the conference room. "All right, team," Ilara began. "In a few hours, we'll be back in Earth's orbit. Before we make contact, I want to go over our approach one last time. The information we're bringing back is going to shake the foundations of human society. We need to handle this carefully." Dr. Patil leaned forward, her eyes bright with the excitement of scientific discovery. "I've been working on a presentation that outlines the basics of the advanced physics we've learned. It's mind-blowing stuff, Captain. Gravity manipulation, faster than light travel without the limitations we thought were insurmountable. It's going to revolutionize our understanding of the universe." "Good work, Zora," Ilara nodded. "Akira, what about the xenotechnology?" Lieutenant Tanaka pulled up a holographic display. "I've cataloged everything we've been allowed to bring back. Some of it is beyond our current understanding, but I've identified several technologies that we can begin adapting immediately. Medical advancements, energy production, environmental restoration. The potential applications are endless." Commander Jones cleared his throat. "I've drafted a series of diplomatic briefings. We need to be prepared for the political fallout. Some nations may see our new status as a threat to their sovereignty. Others will want to exploit our new knowledge for military applications." Ilara's expression hardened. "That's exactly what we need to prevent. The Council made it clear. Our continued status in the galactic community depends on how we handle this transition. We can't let old rivalries and suspicions jeopardize this opportunity. As the horizon approached Earth, the crew was struck by how different their home planet looked now. The blue marble that had once seemed so vast now appeared small and fragile in the context of the galaxy they had experienced. Ilara took a deep breath and opened a channel to Earth's Unified Space Command. "This is Captain Ilara Chen of the UES Horizon, requesting permission to enter orbit. Be advised, we are accompanied by diplomatic envoys." There was a long pause before the response came. "UES Horizon, this is Earth Command. We're detecting multiple unidentified vessels in your vicinity. Please explain." Earth Command, prepare for transmission of full mission report. To put it simply, we made first contact, and it's bigger than we ever imagined. The next few days were a whirlwind of debriefings, global broadcasts, and hastily assembled summits of world leaders. Ilara and her crew found themselves at the center of a media storm, trying to explain concepts that stretched the limits of human understanding. Dr. Petal became an overnight sensation, her explanations of advanced physics capturing the imagination of scientists and the public alike. Lieutenant Tanaka worked tirelessly with engineering teams, beginning the process of adapting alien technology for human use. Commander Jones found himself shuttling between world capitals, smoothing ruffled feathers and emphasizing the need for global cooperation in the face of this new galactic reality. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. As Commander Jones had predicted, there were those who reacted with fear and suspicion to the news. Protests erupted in some cities, with signs declaring Earth for humans and no alien overlords. Fringe groups spread conspiracy theories about mind control and infiltration. A month after their return, Ilara found herself addressing the United Nations General Assembly. As she looked out at the sea of faces, representing every nation on Earth, she felt the weight of history on her shoulders. "Distinguished delegates," she began, her voice steady, "I stand before you today, not just as a captain, not just as an explorer, but as a representative of all humanity to the wider galaxy. The journey we have embarked upon is not one of conquest or subjugation, but of growth and partnership." She paused, letting her words sink in. "We have been given an unprecedented opportunity. The knowledge and technology shared with us by the Galactic Council have the potential to solve many of our most pressing problems. Climate change, disease, energy scarcity. Solutions are within our grasp." "But," she continued, her tone growing more serious, "this gift comes with great responsibility. The Council will be watching us, evaluating how we use this knowledge. Will we use it to better ourselves, to heal our planet, to reach for the stars with open hands of friendship? Or will we fall back on old suspicions and rivalries, squandering this chance in a short-sighted grab for power?" The chamber was silent, every eye fixed on Ilara. "I've seen wonders beyond imagination, delegates. I've stood in chambers with beings whose civilizations were ancient when our ancestors were still learning to make fire. And yet they saw something in us, in humanity, that they deemed worthy of nurture. We have always defined ourselves by our ability to overcome challenges, to adapt, to innovate. Now we face our greatest challenge yet. Not a challenge of survival or conquest, but a challenge of growth. Can we put aside our differences and work together, not just as a species, but as part of a larger galactic community?" Ilara's voice rose with passion. "I believe we can. I believe we must. The stars are no longer a distant dream, but a road open before us. Let us walk that road not with fear or aggression, but with wonder, curiosity, and hope." As she concluded her speech, the chamber erupted in applause. It wasn't unanimous. Ilara could see some delegates remained skeptical, others looked openly hostile. But the majority seemed moved, inspired by the vision of a united humanity taking its place among the stars. In the months that followed, changes swept across the globe. International cooperation reached unprecedented levels as nations pooled resources to adapt alien technologies. The first human-built faster-than-light ship was under construction, a joint project involving engineers from dozens of countries. Universities established new departments of xenobiology and galactic politics. The global economy shifted as some industries became obsolete overnight, while new ones sprang up to take their place. There were growing pains, certainly, economic disruptions, political upheavals, philosophical and religious crises as humanity grappled with its place in a much larger universe. But through it all, a sense of excitement and possibility prevailed. Humanity had faced judgment before the Galactic Council and had not been found wanting. Now they had a chance to prove themselves worthy of the trust placed in them. As Ilara looked up at the night sky, no longer a mystery but a frontier open for exploration, she felt a surge of pride and anticipation. The journey ahead would not be easy, but humanity had never shied away from a challenge. Together, they would forge a new destiny among the stars. The new frontier. 5 years had passed since the UES Horizon's fateful journey to the galactic core. Earth had changed in ways that would have been unimaginable half a decade ago. The skylines of major cities now featured buildings that seemed to defy gravity, constructed with materials and techniques learned from alien allies. Hospitals boasted medical technologies that bordered on miraculous, eradicating diseases that had plagued humanity for millennia. But perhaps the most striking change was in the collective psyche of humanity. The knowledge that they were part of a vast, diverse galactic community had sparked a renaissance in art, philosophy, and science. The petty conflicts that had once divided nations seemed insignificant in the face of the cosmic tapestry they were now part of. Captain Ilara Chen, now Admiral Chen, stood in the observation deck of Harmony Station, Earth's first orbital diplomatic hub. The massive structure hung in geosynchronous orbit, its crystalline spires and sweeping arches reminiscent of the Galactic Council's headquarters. Commander Marcus Jones, now Earth's chief diplomat to the galactic community, joined her at the viewport. "Quite a view, isn't it?" he said, gazing down at the blue marble below. Ilara nodded, a smile playing on her lips. "Sometimes I still can't believe how far we've come." Their reflective moment was interrupted by Dr. Zora Patel's excited voice over the intercom. "Admiral, Ambassador, you're needed in the main conference room. The Galactic Council representatives have arrived for the evaluation." As they made their way through the station's corridors, Ilara and Marcus passed humans working alongside a variety of alien species. The sight, once extraordinary, had become commonplace. Earth had become a hub of interstellar cooperation, with exchange programs bringing knowledge and culture from across the galaxy. In the conference room, they were greeted by familiar faces. High Arbiter Zinfor and Counselor Syleth had returned, along with representatives from several other alien races. Lieutenant, now Captain, Akira Tanaka was already there, ready to present the latest advancements in Earth's adaptation of alien technologies. Zinfor's many eyes blinked in what Ilara had learned to recognize as a gesture of approval. "Greetings, humans. We have come to evaluate your progress and determine if you are ready for full membership in the Galactic Council." Hakshelith chimed in, her crystalline form shimmering. "We must say, your advancements have been impressive. Few species have adapted so quickly to galactic standards." The next few hours were filled with presentations and discussions. Captain Tanaka showcased Earth's leaps in technology, emphasizing how they had focused on sustainable development and environmental restoration. Ambassador Jones detailed Earth's new role as a mediator in interstellar disputes, leveraging humanity's unique perspective as newcomers to galactic politics. Dr. Patel, now head of Earth's Xenoscience Institute, presented breakthrough research on cross-species medical treatments. "By combining our understanding of human biology with the diverse physiologies we've encountered," she explained, "we've developed therapies that can be adapted for dozens of different species." As the presentations concluded, Zinfor and Tyleth conferred quietly. The tension in the room was palpable as the humans awaited their verdict. Finally, Zinfor spoke. Humans, when we first encountered your species, we saw potential clouded by recklessness. We feared your rapid advancement might bring chaos to the galactic order." He paused, his eyes gleaming. "We are pleased to admit our fears were unfounded." Akshilith continued, "You have taken the knowledge we shared and used it not for domination, but for the betterment of your world and the galaxy at large. Your adaptability, creativity, and spirit of cooperation have impressed even the eldest races among us." Zinthor raised all four of his upper limbs in a gesture of proclamation. "It is the decision of the Galactic Council to grant humanity full membership. You will take your place among the guardians of galactic peace and progress." The room erupted in cheers and exclamations of joy. Ilara felt a wave of emotion wash over her, pride, relief, and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. They had done it. Humanity had proven itself worthy. As the celebrations began, Ilara found herself drawn back to the viewport. The Earth shone below, beautiful and fragile, a blue jewel in the vastness of space. But now that vastness didn't seem so empty or forbidding. It was filled with wonders to explore, allies to meet, and challenges to overcome. Ambassador Jones joined her, his expression thoughtful. "You know, Ilara, when we first stood before the Council 5 years ago, I was terrified. I thought we were facing the end of human independence. But now I see it was just the beginning." Ilara nodded. "The beginning of the greatest adventure in human history." As if on cue, a alert chimed softly. A holographic display sprang to life, showing a distant sector of the galaxy. "Admiral," Araya's voice came through. "We're detecting unusual energy readings from the Andromeda galaxy. The Council is requesting Earth's assistance in investigating." Ilara and Marcus exchanged glances, excitement glimmering in their eyes. This was what they had worked for, not just membership in the galactic community, but the chance to contribute, to explore, to push the boundaries of knowledge. "Looks like humanity's next great adventure is calling," Ilara said, a smile spreading across her face. "Shall we answer?" Marcus grinned. "Always, Admiral. That's what we do best." As they moved to assemble a team for this new mission, Ilara felt a profound sense of gratitude and purpose. Humanity had faced judgment before the Galactic Council and had not only survived but thrived. They had proven their worth, earned their place among the stars. The path ahead was unknown, filled with challenges and wonders beyond imagination. But Ilara knew that whatever the galaxy had in store, humanity would face it with the same spirit that had brought them to this point, with courage, curiosity, and an unwavering belief in their potential to grow, to learn, and to make a positive difference in the cosmic tapestry of life. As the first human-led interstellar expedition prepared to depart for Andromeda, Ilara realized that the story of humanity among the stars was just beginning, and it promised to be an epic tale indeed.